So we are going to start the workshop. Can you hear me? Often?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay. Just only to be sure that I'm not speaking alone. Okay, we are going to start. Good morning to everyone. Thank you for attending this workshop organized by the Insituto de Carboquimica, belonging to the Spanish National Research Council, CSIC in Spain. This workshop, chemical looping gasification, a new tool for the 3G biofuel generation, is carried out within the framework of a Marie Curie activity, in which Dauphin May is the main researcher. Microalgae are main precursors for the third generation biofuels production. In this way, using this fuel in a new process, such chemical looping gasification, encompasses many advantages and brings new development opportunities for clean energy and energy carrier generation. This workshop is the first workshop organized within this Marie Curie frame. We want to provide a platform for exchange ideas and experiences in both biochemical and thermochemical conversion area involving the use of microalgae. So before starting the workshop, let me introduce myself and the main presenters in the workshop. I'm Francisco García-Labiano. I'm chemical engineer, a senior scientific researcher at the Insituto de Carboquimica in Spain. And my research has been always a close link to processes related with energy production, but especially in the development of chemical looping technology, including combustion, reforming, gasification. And especially during last years, I have been involved in the use of renewable fuels in these processes with the main objective to reach negative CO2 emissions. It's in this frame where the use of microalgae and the use of advanced technologies such as the chemical looping gasification are linked and are the base for this workshop. For this workshop, we have joined relevant scientists in the topic from different research centers. Main presenters will be Dr. Dauphin May, that now is in our institute, in the Insituto de Carboquimica in Spain, and Silvia Morales from the Insituto de Catálisis and Petroleoquímica, both belonging to the CSIC in Spain. We have also the presence of Professor Min Zhao from the Tsinghua University in China and Dr. Ivana Stanicic from the Chalmers University of Technology in Göteborg, Sweden. In addition, for the panel discussion, we will have with the presence of Professor Tobias Mattison from the Chalmers University of Technology and Dr. Alberto Abad from Insituto de Carboquimica in Spain. Just a few words about our institution. We can say that the Spanish National Research Council, the CSIC, is the largest public research institution in Spain that with more than 126 institutes and research centers all around Spain and covering all fields of knowledge from basic research to technological development. In this case, our institute, Insituto de Carboquimica, is a research center located in the northeast in Spain that is dedicated to the research on energy, mainly energy. And our research group, called Combustion and Gasification Group, is related with the different topics or main research lines related with the combustion and gasification processes, especially with the use of renewable fuels, mainly in fluidized bed reactor. And other main topics are the CO2 capture, syngas or hydrogen production, always with CO2 capture or without CO2 emissions, and more recently, including other processes like CO2 splitting or methanation, but in all cases are related with the development of the chemical looping technology. More related with this technology, in the last years, we have been involved in different European projects, mainly related with the chemical looping gasification technology. The first one is the CLARA project, in which was demonstrated by first in the world the chemical looping gasification technology at 1 megawatt scale in autothermal conditions. The second one is the Marie Curie action, in which is developed or the chemical looping gasification technology for use of microalgae. And this is inside this framework where this workshop is included. And a more recent project that's just starting is a new one about the production of biomethanol using chemical looping gasification coupled with membrane reactors. So after this small introduction about the technology, I want to introduce just a brief background related with the workshop. In this case, it's clear that CO2 emissions coming from different sources is increasing a lot during last century. So if we want to meet the Paris Agreement, that in order to avoid the global temperature rise will below 2 degrees Celsius, about pre-industrial levels, it's clear that we need to decrease these CO2 emissions. And even it's necessary to get net negative emissions by the end of the century. If we consider all the CO2 sources, we see that the transport sector corresponds to about 1/3 of these CO2 emissions. So we have to do something to avoid these emissions. There are different solutions for that, but the use of biofuels arrives at a very relevant solution for the next years. In this case, can be solved the problem for aviation, ships, and even for vehicles. But for the production of biofuels, there are two main topics. In this case, the first one is what is the raw material where you use to produce the biofuel. In this case, there are normally considered 4 generation biofuels. We are going to center, especially in this workshop, in the 3rd generation biofuel that corresponds to the use of algal biomass. The different generation had different advantage or challenge that in the at the final of this workshop, during the panel discussion, we will have time to discuss something about this advantage and challenge. And the other one is the technology that we use to transform the microalgae into biofuels. In this case, we can use different biothermochemical processes such as gasification, pyrolysis, that after some treatment, we can finally produce the biofuel. So in this framework, where this workshop is created, and just only words about some operational issues. The workshop, I have to say that is being recorded, and all the presentations and video will be available from attendants that want it. And the 4 talks are divided in 25 minutes, in which 20 correspond to the presentation and 5 at the end. We will have 5 minutes for questions. So please raise your hand to speak if you want in Zoom, or include your question in the chat, and we will solve it at the end of the workshop in the panel discussion. So for any question after the workshop, please contact with Dr. Dauf and me in the email that is present in below. So I don't want just spend more time, just only to give we can start with the first presentation. If we
Paco,
Yeah.
I want to correct one thing. So the presentation will be 25 minutes and 5 minutes Q&A. So in total, it could be 30 minutes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you.